welcome to my channel, welcome to my whip and chat. Sorry, I'm just looking at my tea. I think I had some pate or something. Anyway, don't mind me. Alright, grab your drinks, grab your work, whatever the heck you're planning on doing, whether it's stitching or diamond painting or knitting or crochet, or it's probably too hot for crochet and knitting up in the northern hemisphere. I am working on the top of the Christmas tree. I'm going to get this black out of the way. Hang on 2 ticks while I try and turn down some of that clatter. That's reminders for me to sit up straight and drink water, and they happen far too often. Alright, so yeah, just working on the black, so I'm going to get some of this confetti out of here and try not to stick my drill tray, which is not so easy not to do, onto my picture, as I have such a big patch of sticky open. Alright, how is everyone doing? Another full week at work, blazing through. I think it was Thursday, and I'm kind of thinking, far out, the week has just flown this week. It's just insane, the speed that the weeks seem to churn through. We didn't get our new car yet. Our customer service sales agent is a little bit lacking on the whole contact stuff, and it's like, okay. Told us that he'd tell us when it was going on the ship, and the next thing we know, it's actually in the country, because we rang him. And then he said, oh yeah, I'll let you know when it's down here. Still haven't been told it's actually down in our city. I was like, ah. So yes, a little bit frustrated with that. I've had an offer on Norbert, the Jeep, which is really good. Probably an over-emotional buyer, to be honest, but I don't care. And we've had to delay her coming from where she lives to come and get him, because we don't know when we're going to have the other car to replace him. So in the meantime, though, the ad is still up on our advertising site, and I've had a few more offers, and a couple of guys have kind of said, hey, next in line, please. So that's kind of good, bit of reassurance, but I think this girl is going to buy him without any issues, to be honest. But we'll wait, and yeah, I'll be glad when I've got the new car and I can unpack Norbert properly and, you know, just have him ready to go and know it's not going to be an issue. So there's that front. Mrs. Coffee has been asking me about the weather down here. It's what we describe, or my husband particularly describes, as t-shirt weather, seeing as I'm always living in cardigans, but anyway. It's t-shirt weather at the moment. It's a gorgeous day today. It was a stunning day yesterday, and tomorrow it's going to freeze the balls off a brass monkey, and Tuesday it's going to snow, pretty much down to where we live. They actually said on some things it's down to sea level, and on others it's down to 300 meters. So 300 meters is a little bit higher. We're at about 125, 150 meters. Either way, the big mountain over there is going to be white, and the trees are going to be white, and it's going to be bloody cold. Not going to look forward to that. My back was giving me, you know, I think it was just everything was starting to ache, and I was thinking, why am I so sore? Going down to the chemist to get hubby's meds, and then, you know, go down to the freezer and stuff, and just moving around in general. I'm kind of thinking, no, it's a nice day. Am I really reacting to the cold? So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it was just because I tried to get my meds early so that I wasn't going to be too achy today. So I'm not sure if it's the weather that's turning. The beagle is, oops, see, I'm stuck. The beagle is laying in the sun, soaking up his rays. So yeah, I've kind of warned the cats and dog that it's going to get cold. So yeah, he's out in the sun at the moment. Tomorrow, I don't know if he's going to have sun. I think they're forecasting rain, so he might not get warm, so he'll probably be in his kennel all day. So yeah. And the cats, well, yeah, I don't know if they feel it either. They were screaming at me this morning for their food. Mocha, yeah, he has his dentist appointment on Wednesday. So hopefully that goes okay. I'm wondering how he's going to go if he does get a whole load of teeth pulled. Because he's got a front one that's been kicked out and it's wobbly, and I don't know how he's got so bad. Is it just from lack of chews or what that gives them such poor teeth? Maybe he's got scurvy. I don't know. He's been eating a dog food from what we call Big W, which is like a the clothing and householdy crap side of the supermarket chain. It's a different building and store and kind of handle. Well, yeah, it's the Woolworths answer to Kmart, but I'm not sure if Kmart is the same as our Kmart over in the States. So, anyway. You get all sorts of kitchenware and everything else, but yeah, it's the competition to our Kmart, which is, you know, the kitchenware and the appliances and games and things like that. Yeah, and the bill from the vet. Oh, jeez. Not looking forward to that one. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to have half a mouthful of teeth. He's going to eat, because he has these little kibble biscuits. So that's not complicated, but yeah, it's the loose teeth that worried me. I did think about pulling one out. Yeah, it's the kind of person I am. Yeah, but I thought he might have issues with that, and it wasn't just one tooth that's the issue, to be honest. His abscess does seem to be going down just a little bit. He's been on antibiotics for a few days now, so that's good. So hopefully he's feeling a bit less pain. I'm just not poking and prodding it. Although that's not so easy when I go to give him his pills, because opening his mouth, he's kind of going, not liking this, because I'm, you know, opening his jaw with the whole trick of flappy gum on teeth, prise it open and drop the pill down the back of his throat. He looks really pale as well, and I was like, okay, that's really weird. I hope he's okay. I guess they'll find out. The vet checked him the other day, though, and she didn't say anything was overly wrong. I don't know if they do things like iron counts and blood counts on dogs.
Not enough sun, you reckon?
Yeah, not enough sun. Not enough meat. So yeah, hopefully the cheap kibble that he's on is not what's making him deficient in stuff, which of course is a huge possibility. I will get a free bag of dog food, but the Hill Science Diet, I'm not sure if you get it in the States, Hill Science Diet costs a fortune here, an absolute fortune. Now, granted, he's only one dog now. When I had 2 dogs or 3 dogs feeding on the food, it was getting expensive, but yeah, I think we just kind of get this food purely for convenience. I could get Taste of the Wild. I think you have that in the States because it's American. That I liked.
You do a lot of toast, didn't you?
Well, from all of the ingredients and all of the reviews, it was really good.
Oh.
And the dogs loved it. So no, I don't taste test. My husband's being a smart aleck.
How many paw prints does this one get?
He said, how many paw prints does this get? Yeah. But at least he's still eating. He actually managed to wrap his chain up around the top post this morning, and when I threw out his breakfast and some pizza for him, I didn't realise that he had tangled himself up there and he couldn't come down and get the pizza, and he was kind of going, Mom! Let me get the pizza when I came home from the chemist. Oh, go sit down. Do as you're told. So yes, I have to keep an eye on that while he's got a fly line, but he was all giddy this morning. He was jumping up and down and running up and down the fly line and being a bit of a class clown, so it was good. So he was in good form at the very least. Yeah. Just trying to get all these little odd ones out of the way if I can. And we'll see where we go from there. What have I done lately? I didn't get any stitching done in the last few days. I think I've been too tired. In the evening, hubby's been playing with the lights. They have been working, but my bridge light's not working today, the one that lights up here.
What?
No, I couldn't get it to work. Home Assistant wasn't playing.
No.
And when I asked Dougal to turn it on, it didn't. Anyway, it's a nice bright day, so I figured I might be okay without the light. He'll see if he can work his magic now, and probably will. No, I could be doing this with 2 drills in the placer to be a little bit quicker, but yeah, I'm not overly fussed yet. I know it's a stitching thing, but the Dark Queen of the Seas, we got our floss list today, and there are lots of pinks and purples that's going to be in our mermaid. So that's exciting. Somebody has already gone through their floss haul and they have done a floss toss effectively, sort of, with all the colours, so you can see all the colours. That's really kind of cool. Looking forward to that. Poor Aaron, the organiser, was having a meltdown with his computer. It wasn't playing ball at all yesterday. And they had a wedding to go to, and everyone's kind of going, okay, it's the first, come on, release it already. It was funny, because then what he ended up doing, and this is a really good idea for morale, he said, okay, put up your memes of disappointment. So everyone put up their meme showing disappointment. And then the next one was, and we've got this is happening, I'll get it up in a couple of hours after the wedding or something. And show me all your excited memes. And all the excited memes got put up. So it was really, really cool, you know, that, yeah, he's not hopefully feeling too overwhelmed by the perfectionism that he's suffering from. And his wife Cassandra got on saying, you know, look, he is a perfectionist and he was working really hard to get this right for us. So all kinds of cool. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery, people. So if you're familiar with the stuff that they produce, you will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's really cool. It's strangely almost like teasing family kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing this. And this is one that if you pay for the pattern, it's a once-off fee, and then you get the pattern fed to us once a month from September. The floss drop has just happened. You can pre-order your fabric and the speciality beads and speciality threads from Leslie LaFleur. Go, Sophie. And you know, it's all this working together, and then we've got the whole challenge of doing the project together. And I know there's going to be some who are going to have it, you know, done in next to no time on the kid. She's got to squealing lately with this high pitched. I did a video, I edited it last night, and the amount of cuts I had to do because she was cracking the shits. And, yeah, the faces I was pulling was not so pretty either. Or the faces, yeah, anyway. Yes, I don't pull a pretty angry face at all. It's like, yeah. Not nice, not nice. And then, I think it might have been that video as well. My hair was down. Oh my god. The flicking of it used to shit me to tears, actually, when it was the stepkid who would be doing a job and she'd be constantly flicking her hair out of the way. And, yeah, it was the same watching me, and it was like, okay, the hair's going up, that's it. You know, I don't mind it when it's down, but when you're trying to do something and the whole flick, it was just like, oh my god, just tie it up, woman. Yeah. It was funny. It was annoying as well, just, yeah. When you've got a job to do, yeah, get the hair out of the way. But yeah, the editing was certainly real yesterday. I'll upload those later. I got, what did I do? I've got a sparkler video coming up. Not sure when that's going to release. I've got a, what else have I done? Penz. I got my diamond Penz. Actually, I'll show you those because they won't be out for quite a while. These are my new diamond Penz. These are from Canada. This is melon stripes, and this is sea bliss, I think, but it's quite green and blue. Very, very pretty. Very, very different shapes for me. So you've got the taper in the melon stripes, and I've got the multiple bumps and cuts and everything else in that one. So very, very different. Oop, there goes my magnet. Hang on a second. Sophie has been stealing my blue tack, which gets these things to stick onto my light bridge, because I'm waiting for my new light bridge, which when I have that, I'm then going to cable tie the little 6-inch rulers onto so they don't keep falling off, as you can't pull at them. But yeah, I've got to wait for, I don't know, hubby inspiration and time and all that kind of craziness. I need to stop putting that down on the sticky bit or get little feet. Now, I did have an idea that I've got to talk with hubby about with 3D printing. So I've got to do a little bit of work with him, and that would be all kinds of cool if that goes ahead the way I'd like it to. So watch this space on that one. Hang on. Because I haven't seen anything like it yet. Okay. That can go there. Work, what's happening with work? Busy at 5-day weeks again. My major commitments are 3 days a week this week, and then 2 office space days, and it's like, oh god, busy, but not quite as ridiculous as it could be, I suppose. We've got Missing Persons Week coming up, I think, this week. And apparently there's 14 missing persons in Tasmania that they're highlighting. that's not so good. We don't do the milk carton things here, but we have had some major missing persons. Usually they find, if it's foul play involved, the police here are pretty good with their investigations. And I don't think there's any foul play in these. Are just gone AWOL. Maybe went bush, suiciding or something. I don't know. It's a great big empty state here if you want to get lost in it. It's pretty good to get lost in if you want. Oh, we were watching, I think that's what reminded me of it. We were watching Yellowstone, caught up at season 3. Loving it. Although, yeah, some of the violence is like, yeah, okay. But one of the things John Dutton is, they go up onto their campsite to do something. You got a refund?
No.
Oh.
I'm a new user of the month.
Oh, okay. What's that mean?
I don't know. Permanently visible on the badges page.
Oh, are you talking about your groups? Right. He's a groupie. It's tech stuff. Yeah, so John Dutton is up on this campsite. Not quite sure why they went there. I don't know, they went there to maybe get away from things and get back to, and that they were potentially moving some cattle and things like that. But anyway, they went to this campsite and John goes and gets a phone call. He's played by, oh god, name.
Who are we talking about?
John Dutton. He's the executive producer. Yellowstone. Kevin Costner. Okay. And he gets a phone call and he's, you know, cursing and swearing and walks up the ridge, I don't know, 10 paces away from the campfire, and his signal drops out. And he comes down and he said, right, that's it. Moving the site. Moving it right now. And they move the site up to where he's got no phone signal. So he goes absolutely off grid. It was awesome. And he said, no, we should have done this sooner. And yeah, everyone is actually saying we should have done this sooner. So I'm not quite sure where the story's going to go with that one. But because you've got Native Americans involved, you've got now we've got some activism because the land is now being threatened by the potential for ski resorts and airports and a city being built in this place. And yeah, so it's interesting. So what's his name? Something Cloud. Tom is now going to recruit the daughter-in-law to be the leader of this and get the university kids involved because they've seen a missing teenager found dead in a gully. There's nothing overly said about her and whether it was foul play or whether she's just wandered off track or not, but there was some suggestion that there may have been foul play involved. So yeah, it's going to be interesting where that goes. And I know you guys in the States have had these issues with, you know, reservation Indians and the whole political thing with that. And yeah, it's interesting seeing how it's being portrayed, certainly in this show. So yeah, I did a bit of research though, and the Yellowstone Ranch is actually a real place in Montana that you can go and live on. So because we were watching the hubby calls it a double brick log cabin. It's basically stone and wood logs. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I said, yeah, I'd live there in a heartbeat. And he's going, yeah, double brick log cabin, you know. Yeah, I would absolutely go there in a heartbeat. And I looked it up and found that it was, I think, it sounded like a reservation place. but it's huge. It's absolutely monstrous. All the barns and the house, the family home, are all in the one place, and then I think they use other places for cabins and stuff like that around the state. But by golly, Montana is gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And I love watching my other YouTube friends when they do drive arounds, so I can, you know, see the countryside and that. It's just, yeah, it's awesome. I was saying to Elizabeth this week, you know, I still want to travel to the States. And I don't know if I'm going to get to do it in my lifetime. It's like, yeah. I had always wanted to go to the States. That had been my dream destination, was the States. And then I ended up in Australia, which is as completely different as you could get.
Have been to the States.
Well, I visited New York, but I didn't get to see country. I wanted to go into a supermarket, could not find a supermarket in New York. I don't know why. I think I went into a tiny supermarket because I wanted to get an idea, you know, of how the products are, you know, sold. You know, TV kind of presents it as the containers, you know, would fit a body into the bottle of mayonnaise kind of thing. And I wanted to see what it was really like, you know, what's the hype and what's the reality. Sorry?
It was a bit morbid, wasn't it?
Well, no, just that they're that big. You know, catering sizes are huge. I would have loved to have gone to a Walmart or something. But yeah, I was city centre, New York. And yeah, we didn't travel out of there or anything. We travelled on Manhattan Island. That was pretty much it.
A professional axe murderer, souping up all your victims and putting them into the containers, then taking it back to the supermarket and saying, "I want a refund."
Oh God, the Snowtown murders in Australia. He chopped up the bodies and put them back into oil drums and kept them. They turned into soup. There's a book on that one. I've read that. It was the police investigation, and that was amazing. Yeah. Sorry?
South Australians are all nuts.
Yes.
You know why?
Why?
It's because there are a lot of Dutch there.
Oh, be careful.
Yeah. Dutch are all
My
crazy.
husband, I'm not sure if you can pick up on the mic. He's saying that the Dutch are all crazy. Yeah. Some very... even in Tasmania, the Dutch are crazy. They all live down in a particular suburb, south a bit. And, yeah, there's a lot of them involved in the church. And, yeah, they're all... some interesting ideas. Some very wealthy in there as well, but some interesting ideas. Some of them are quite strange, though.
Too many drugs in the city.
He says, too many drugs in the 60s. You're making me laugh and blow my drills out of my tray. Oh, dear. Oh, Sophie's gone to bed.
Oh, that means we can stop watching Octonauts. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I killed them.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's Octonauts. And then she's got the iPad going at the same time, and oh, it's just insane. I don't know what it's with it. I don't know if it's just needing the noise or what, but
Multitasking.
yeah, she multitasks.
Just like a mother. Maybe I multitasked as a child too. Who knows?
Yeah, you probably did. Dear, oh dear. What is coming up in the next week? Oh, the Monday will have been the closing of the Letters to a Lady series. I have had a little bit of thought about the next thing I might do. To be honest, the viewing probably hasn't been brilliant on it. Whether that's because of the subject matter, it's reading, or it's so short, I'm not actually sure. So I don't know if I continue in a similar vein, or what I do with another series, if I do a series on a Monday. Where's that spot? There. So let me know what I might do, where I'm at the half-hour mark, if I can remember, post when I'm doing my editing. I could do this painting that I'm going to show you. This is, I think it's called First Day in Heaven. And there is a story I could read that is an allegorical story. Unfortunately, the author is dead now. Major shame. She was, I really enjoyed her stories. I can't recall, well, I can recall, but way back when I read the first one, I thought it was going to be a trilogy. And then I read it and it was not. It was like there's 2 parts to the story. It's a little bit kind of Pilgrim's Progress kind of stuff. I don't know if it's overly religious though, and I don't necessarily want to come across as overly religious, but yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, that's where I was maybe thinking. I don't know. I've got, and then there's the qualm of, well, do I have to, or do I have another start with a kit when I've got so many kind of on the go? And I was like, maybe not. Maybe I need to just crack on with what I've got. Rather than starting a new project and clogging up boxes. I've got the mystery kit, the Evermoment, to do. No idea what that is. I've done one section of that, but I did think about doing that now. And then I did think about doing the Mortimer Bay kit, and decided not to as well. I need part of my psychologist appointment was using some EMDR, and that involved I'm making a mess of that. EMDR involves having a happy place to go to, and I picked that suburb kind of beach area because it was somewhere that I was fond of, although it's potentially a little bit tainted by some news I had recently. But so I was kind of thinking, I could do that as part of my therapy, you know, and just refresh why I love the place, you know, and just kind of reflect on that. But yeah, again, decided not to do that. Decided to pick this up, see if I can get rid of the black, and move on with that. I've got stitching to do as well. I still have to do my peppermint purple for this week. I haven't done that either. As I said in the beginning, I think it was just too tired, and yeah, just pass. Now, this wouldn't be my favourite pen. It's quite fat, and I've only got little hands. That's why I'm getting a problem with that drill. Not enough pink stuff down the back end. Alright. And I think it's dry. Oh, made a complete shambles and that will pick up. Anyway. What else have I got? I might have to consult my diary because it's been a while since I scheduled. Tuesday. What did you get? Tuesday? Oh gosh. Tuesday. Ooh, you're getting Sophie and Toffee resin work. And Thursday is still an open spot. Thursdays have tended to be Diamond Art Club unboxings in the last little while. So while Sophie is asleep, I might do that and see how we go. I noticed my views on the Frivolous Friday, maybe because of the topic that I'm putting in, I don't know. The views on Frivolous Fridays haven't been quite so high either. I do try and keep them quite light. They're not meant to be overly serious or anything else, and okay, maybe it's the geek in me that kind of likes the trivia, but yeah, they're not meant to be too heavy. So if you would like to have a listen to those, I don't think you're going to be too overwhelmed. Like, there's some interesting stuff, like the one with the radio. It might sound boring, but it was about radio waves and who made the first radio, and there was arguments between whether it was Tesla or Marconi and that kind of thing. So I didn't know that there was an issue with either of them. Yeah, it was, you know, Marconi is known as the radio person, but apparently he used Tesla created patenty things. So yes, there's and then there's been court challenges and all sorts of stuff like that. So yeah, patents are important for you to get recognition, but Tesla is now given that dubious role. And I actually didn't realize that Nikola Tesla was from back then. Because we've got Tesla cars now, and I don't know who's running the Tesla now. I didn't mean to check that out and didn't get around to it, because my son was interested in getting a Tesla. Possibly, yes. We're getting a hybrid. He might actually be slightly impressed. Of course, he's just going to say, oh, that's Marcus's idea, not mine. So he'll get the praise and I won't, because I wouldn't have picked that car, to be honest. I wouldn't have done enough research, probably, and I certainly wouldn't have been aiming for a new car either. But because Marcus can actually budget and set aside money and all of that kind of... Yeah, I know. It's the same amount of money that I was paying on a novated lease, but it doesn't include budgeting for wheels, servicing and all that kind of... Yeah, so that's where Marcus is coming in. He's going to organise all of that. I'll probably need to open another 10 bank accounts so that we can funnel money off for whatever. We have bank accounts already, and he's got a toy fund, he's got a computer fund for me. So we've got all these, you know, little boxes, little piggy banks that we put all the money into. And it was supposed to have been easy to open them, but by golly, trying to get them authorized so that we could actually move money back and forth took a bit of back and fro in the bank. That was a little bit frustrating. But eventually we got it sorted. Oh, silly. Yeah, that was the only shitty thing that happened with that. They basically hadn't taken a restriction off, but when we went in the first 2 times, it was like, oh yeah, they're good to go, and I was like, no, they're really not. I was like, oh, are you kidding me? Because I am an admin with Sparklers, I heard that there was a bit of a mix-up with an order, and the drills that came in were not what were ordered, but they're more square ABs are going to be coming into the store, so that's all kinds of exciting. You should, I mean, us as admin, we get excited because Tina's got new stock, so yeah, we're kind of going, yeah, can we hurry up and buy it, please? So that's exciting, even though I've literally just had an order get delivered from her. So yes, lots and lots of goodies. I've got to go onto the website and have a browse. But it adds up very quickly. At least you can see your running total now at the website. That was the one thing that I think I put through one order once, and when I got the total from Tina, it was like, yelp! Yeah. But having the running total gives you a better idea. And then you've got exchange rate. Oh, exchange rate sucks. Not that I necessarily want a global currency. I have heard you guys are cooking up in the States at the moment. Very, very hot weather, and it's only August, so it's going to get worse for a little while, and then September you start to cool down. So that will be interesting. Yeah, just as I said that, I'm kind of going, it's August. Where is the time going? Seriously. I have only just got used to writing 2020 in all my office stuff. And now I'm going to be having to change it again. It's like, this is ridiculous. Oh, sticky. Do not shake. I don't need to shake. I've got plenty of these in line. Oh, I went into my nail salon chick Friday afternoon, and I kind of thought, yeah, I'm gonna go with the black nails. What I was gonna say to her, I was gonna say, you know, black nails, please. You know, black like my soul. I had a rough day the day before, and things had improved anyway, but the black was still there in my head, and I kind of thought, yeah, what if we do the whole black and gold? And she's kind of going, really? And I said, oh, and stilettos, and she's gone, you sure? And this is, hang on, there, see, that's what I've gone with now. So they're claws at the moment. Very long. I'm not expecting them to last. There's a couple that I think are a smidge too long, and I will end up breaking them if I'm not careful. So I may, in a couple of days, top off the top and turn them into coffin shapes, just because they're kind of at their limit lengthwise, but I love them. She's done a really nice job with the gold foil and a bit of the straight stickers, and then she did a stamp, and then she's done some foil things, and then some glitter and other glitters. So yeah, really like kind of going to her with the colour, and then she can kind of go nuts with the design. It's a lot of fun. So that was last week's treat. The jelly box or whatever it was that I had the previous couple of weeks on my nails, that worked really well. They lasted brilliantly. They didn't chip, they didn't break, they didn't do anything that they weren't supposed to do. That was awesome. So that was really nice. I hate when my nails get broken, chipped, or otherwise damaged. Although I had been stupid, I had been chewing cuticles and have given myself a really bad infection. So that wasn't fun. So my hand has literally been sore all week. Sorry? No, I've been about the chewing, yeah. I've been treating myself with everything. You name it, it's probably been on it. Antiseptic, honey, metho. Yeah, and then I called the doctor and said, can I have some antibiotics, please? And he said, if it's really bad, you're going to have to come in and we're going to have to lance it. And it was like, it was just getting to the end of you know, the worst of it. And I was like, yeah, I'll take the antibiotics. I'll be fine. So, yeah. Oh, it was tempting. Bloody sore. Sophie was complaining of a sore toe. Every time she gets hurt, in some ways she's a bit of a wuss. And she'll go, hurt! And she might have, you know, bumped her finger. And she'll be sucking about it.
What she does is she comes to me and she goes, hurt? Like this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, hurt? I go, all better. And she goes, oh.
Yeah, she doesn't take anything to fix it. She just goes and she shows you. And then, you know, I don't know, she just wants some reassurance. Like, she might have a scab on her finger and she'll keep on, you know, picking at it, going, hurt. Yeah, she's a funny one. And then she'll trot off. She will dive over the couch and do all kinds of other lunatic-y things. That's, you know, putting her in this world of hurt. But yesterday she had said something about being hurt, and I've gone and lost where I was gonna go with my story. No, it's fine. I think I had lost it. Anyway, I'll come back to it, where she was saying about the hurt. Oh no, she was in the kitchen and she said hurt, and I said, we could chop it off. And she just kind of looks at me, and Marcus chips in from the lounge. We've got a rusty knife. Rusty axe. So that's the latest thing. Oh, okay. Yes. Well, I wasn't sure if you wanted your name bandied about that much. The government might come and get you. The Chinese. He's fighting the Chinese for refunds. Every day he's coming up to me saying, I've ordered such and such from them, and the policy is that if they don't deliver within blah days, you're entitled to a refund. And I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I'll get shipping stuff and it doesn't get here in that time.
Some of them say that they guarantee the shipping, and those particular orders say delivered before such and such or full refund.
Yeah, some of them are saying delivered before such and such or full refund. Well, I had things like the container storage bags, and I don't know what the story was with those, but I'm kind of saying, hey, look, you're showing up as completed, and it's not completed. I haven't got it. But am I going to challenge them for, you know, a $40 refund? Yet he will challenge these Chinese guys for a $2 refund. And the stories that he's telling me and the insults that are flying back and... Well, sorry. The insults that are flying from him and the emojis that fly back from the Chinese. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It gets quite interesting as he's kind of berating the Chinese for their lack of, you know, morals, because they say, we will refund you if it's not here in time. He's berating some AliExpress sellers, and yeah, he gets his bee in his bonnet saying, your policy says refund. And of course, because it's still in transit or whatever, he can't dispute it, but he's kind of saying, no, you just need to give me the refund because time is up. It says refund after 60 days. No questions asked. So yeah, they're all getting up in arms with... And then they want a refund to PayPal, and he's going, hell no, no, I'm not money laundering with you. Yeah. Oh God, he's terrible. Yeah, all for a couple of dollars. I'm kind of thinking, I'm ordering stuff that's so expensive. Oh, and yeah. It's kind of like, you don't talk about religion and politics. Yeah, it's AliExpress sellers with my husband. Hates them. And I know we have people in the diamond painting community have equal issues at the moment, but yes. Whereas I was emailing Zoe at every moment saying, hey, there's no sign of the product is showing as completed. Can I, you know, what can we do? And she says, just give it a couple of days and I'll give you a refund if it's not there in time. And it's like, yeah, okay. Granted, the thing got there, and it's like, well, fair enough. But yeah, I'm not pushing that whole delivered by such and such or else. In saying that, my shipper app is saying that I still have stuff in transit and it's gone way past disputable stage, and it's like, bugger. You know, so yeah, you got to keep an eye on that stuff. If you order from AliExpress, you do have to keep an eye on when it's meant to be in, when it closes on Ali, that kind of thing. So yeah, I've lost some resin stuff that I never got a while back. So yeah, that's my fault. I should have been chasing up on those. But anyway, we'll get there. Oh, can you turn the oven on? 250. Please. We made for the first time last night pizza, and we shared the pizza. Normally what we do is we do a rotation with the pizzas. So Sophie's goes in first, and then mine will go in next, and then hubby's will go in last. So we've got 2 pizza stones that we rotate, and Sophie's got the first fresh one, but then it goes cold while we wait for my one to cook, and then she gets hers when I've got mine, to try and encourage her to eat with somebody, and then hubby gets his. Well, last night for the first time we decided to try doing half and half and just cooking the one pizza, because we don't eat the whole pizza. We usually cook half the pizza, or sorry, eat half the pizza last night and then eat the second half today for lunch. So instead, last night what we did was I made up half the pizza in his selection, which basically is no onion, and I've got more sweet chili, and I've got barbecue sauce on mine. And then today I've got a brand new pizza to make on the pizza stones, so it's been in the fridge overnight because, you know, pizza keeps. So yeah, that's a little bit different for us. So normally we have the reheated pizza, so today we're going to have first cook pizza. So it'll be interesting to see if that works out or not. When the 10-year-old is with us, her pizza will get fully cooked, but at least it means that hubby and I get to eat together on a Saturday night rather than the staggered him then me, and yeah. So this could be a new thing. The only issue is making sure I've got my barbecue side and he's got his, but because I have onion on mine, it should be fairly easy to tell where the halfway kind of mark is and whose side is whose. He also made them oblong last night, so that may have helped as well rather than around, because when he spins it halfway through you might forget where the marker is. Yeah, that's the plan. Sophie of course eats most of the ingredients cold, raw, while we're making the pizza up, although yesterday it wasn't so much fun when she kept on eating the cabana and then spitting it out, and I was like, ew. Yeah, but she's a big fan of the raw pepper capsicum, and the cheese. Mushrooms she's been hit and miss on. Depends on how fresh the mushrooms are. If she'll eat them raw, she doesn't seem to like them cooked. But then very, very different texture from raw to cooked mushroom. Yeah, I've got a broken drill. Oh, I may have mentioned that my son up in Sydney had gone for a job interview, maybe not. Anyway, he got the job, so that's really, really good. He had been laid off during the COVID start and had been on whatever government payment in the interim period. So yeah, very good for him, for the morale and everything else, to have work again. So that's good. And he got a pay rise. The agency did the negotiating and he's got more than he was getting in the previous place, so that's really, really good. He's a naval architect, so in quite a well-paid field, but living up in Sydney, he's really not going to see much change from anything. Oh my goodness, this is a 13 placer head and it doesn't place overly accurately, I've found. I've got to kind of stretch them as I put them down, whereas some of them, there's another broken drill, some of them lay, you know, straight down and no issues. Yeah, this one's a bit of a finicky bit of space, so if you're going to use the 13 placer, yeah, you might want to be that little bit more careful about your spread and your stagger to make sure that you don't have gaps. Now, where are we? Oh, that was terrible. See, I've got one too many. Oh, and one sitting on the side, and it's like, what the heck? Right, that would be why they didn't go down properly. As you've seen, well, I hope you've seen, I do actually roll these as well afterwards. Somebody on one of the Facebook groups actually said that they had picked up their DAC that they had completed ages ago and some of the drills had popped off, and DAC, because they're in the group, were really good. They came on and they said, did you roller them? And I don't think she had. So please make sure that you roller your diamond paintings, even if it is something like Diamond Art Club. It just helps put the drills home properly. don't just expect first placement is enough, depending on how you place as well. If you're heavy-handed, like Sherry says she's heavy-handed, that might be less of an issue, but if you're not and you place quite lightly, you may find that it's too light to get a good adhesion in your poured glue, and then your poured glue might be stickier in some places than others, and there is so much gapping here from this stupid placer. I was so not happy with that. But at least it's got the black background. Ugh. Runny nose, sorry. COVID, yes. What else is going on? Waiting to get the car, waiting then to hear that we can travel. It's all a bit nerve-wracking. If we don't get to do the trip, hubby's still saying we'll do something. We'll see how we go. Drive around the block now. I'd like to go somewhere that I haven't been, but that's going to be expensive. Haven't been to Cradle Mountain, which is in the top left corner of the state, kind of thing. Stunning. Takes like ages to get there because you can't go from here straight up to there. You've got to go up and around to get in there. You know, I mean, they could just build a road through the wilderness, but yeah. Anyway, I'm kidding. Sorry? Yeah, the Greens wouldn't like it. So that would be someplace I'd love to go, but staying at Cradle Mountain cost a bloody fortune. Like $400 a night in a cabin. I have never ever seen a discount. It does look nice. It's like the log cabin in the mountains kind of thing. But yeah, someday I'll get up there. Yeah, when we're rich and famous, as I keep saying, and when hubby's a millionaire, whenever that's going to happen.
Oh, I thought you were going to be.
Oh, me? Oh, okay.
Going wrong. You thought I was going to do it, and I thought you were going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, well, we better pull our fingers out then.
Dear, oh dear.
Was a few years wasted?
Right. Yes. There was a guy in the chemist this morning talking about people being able to holiday more in Tasmania, which sounds like a nice plan. I don't know if people would bother doing it though. Tasmanians don't tend to travel much, even within their own state. Yeah, the locals don't tend to get out much. It's not cheap either, and they're not exactly high wages amongst the locals. So they don't have the money to travel in the state. And then when you've got places like Cradle Mountain that charge bloody fortune to stay in a lodge, you know, a wood hut, it does kind of put people off. And people here usually have families, and that gets expensive. So yeah. I was lucky with when I first arrived in Tassie, the family tended to get out and see the state and go and tour the places, and effectively spend money that we actually didn't have, but that's another story. But yeah, I got to see a lot of the state, but there was a couple of places that we didn't. So anyway, would like to. But do you get to travel? Do you travel much within your own home state, or is that not something that you've done? I know Mrs. Coffee has been out visiting the bison buffalo recently in wherever that park is, close to her. and that's all fairly new to her, and she's been in North Dakota for a little time now, so, you know, I don't think it's too unusual for you not to actually explore your own state. This is where geocaching can come in quite handy, because you get to explore where locals have kind of found hidden gems, and they then tell you the story of why such and such is there, and things like that. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, I have been back down alleys, and you know, I would have not gone maybe to this particular wall to try and find this particular geocache if I didn't know that the cache was there, you know. And we've got a fair bit of history here in Tasmania, but not as much as Europe or anything. I mean, that goes way back. So that's all kinds of cool. But there would be things like we've got, well, it's called a rivulet in the city. It basically travels under the city, but there's a couple of places where it pops up, and yeah, you can, if there's a geocache nearby, somebody is, you know, put in the work in the research, and you know, they might have done puzzles, which makes you do some research yourself and learn about why it's there, and you know, how it's used, and the history behind, you know, a few things. So that's kind of cool to learn about. You know, some of those historical places, like we've got historical towns, and somebody might put a cache on a bridge and you know, tell you a bit about the convict history. We've got large prison history here because Tasmania is a convict settlement. You know, that kind of thing. So you're not just kind of visiting the place, you're, you know, learning about it too. So I like that kind of interest. Oh God. My husband just cracked a bad joke. Boy, cloakroom humour. Yep. Right, I'm gonna need some more of these to get more straight lines. I had just opened another big bag of 310 before I started recording, and I had to tip half of the bag back into the Ziploc bag because otherwise I'd never have had any space to shake my drills. Couple of over-enthusiastic drills. Oh, where are we? That might do. We'll see if we can get this finished. I think I have a 15 placer. I don't think I've used that one yet. I'm not even sure if it's loaded. No, I don't think it is. I've got one that looks really long here. Yeah, that's my 15. Haven't got any blue tack in it, and my blue tack is now buried. I did have a big blob, but I cleaned out most of my pens recently. I transferred most of the pens to Paddy Wax, thinking it was the bee's knees, and didn't like how it left the residue, didn't like how when I reloaded the pen all the new wax would pop out, that kind of thing. So I went back to the blue tack, so I had to reload all of the pens. Oh, what are you doing? And that sucked up my reserve of blue tack that I had out and about. But that's okay. It's not a place where Sophie usually goes to. She goes to my ruler and she peels it off the ruler, but she doesn't actually go to my stash in my middle of my desk. hubby reckons blue tack is the bane of existence and hates it when it gets into carpet and things by careless children or adults. Although he has stolen it from me for his 3D printer. When stuff looks like it's about to fall off, he'll stick the print with blue tack. Sorry? Well, they're not going to know how you do it. I hate when that happens. Now, I don't know if these are going to place. They're all kinds of wonky, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, kind of approximately. Got there. I was on BookBub this morning. BookBub send me an email every single day with links to $1, $2 or free books kind of thing. Sometimes it's $4.99 because they're best-selling author kind of stuff, new releases. What I have found, you can actually go on Amazon if you've got a Kindle or Kindle reader. You can go onto Amazon, you can go into the search, and you can actually put in the word free, and all the free books will come up. There are thousands and thousands and thousands, if you ever want those. BookBub, what it does is you choose your category that you want to receive emails on, and they send you emails in the genres that you like. So I got an email this morning and I ended up paying for a book, one of those rare occasions that I actually buy one, for $2. And I'm kind of looking forward to reading that. It's a story about, what was it now? A woman whose childhood home is put up for sale, and she had married her childhood sweetheart, and I think he's a bit reluctant to go back to this town. I think it's set in England. It's not the usual writing that this lady does, because the reviews have said this is slightly different from her usual kind of thing. But I did enjoy the premise to it because, well, I'll go into that in a bit. But anyway, so she buys the family home, she moves back in, and then she finds that the neighbours aren't treating her very nicely, and she's all kinds of clueless as to why she's being treated so badly. And yeah, I'm interested to read a bit more, but she digs into a secret compartment, move the piece of the wall kind of thing that she knew about from when she was a kid, and she finds a news cutting or something from way back when, and I think there's a confrontation with the husband involved, and yeah, secrets revealed. So it's like, okay, we'll see where this is going to go. So yeah, bought that. I will finish my current Cora Seaton book, and then I might jump to that if I can remember. I wish there was a function in my Kindle that I've got that you can choose partially read books as a category to open, so you can kind of go, okay, I'm going to put this one down and then I'm going to pick up this. I've got books that I'm trying to do research with or something that, you know, you've got to skip back and forth on, and I kind of get lost then when they aren't my current read. Unfortunately, I've got a book out from the library on what is it called? Getting Past Your Past by Francine Shapiro. It's about EMDR and how all that works, and because it's actually a soft copy book, I'm not reading it. I'm actually picking up my Kindle more, and you know, reading a page or two, putting it down, doing something else, and then, you know, picking it up, reading a page or two. So I'm not picking up the softback at all. I actually like reading on the Kindle on my phone, but yeah, if there was a way to have the jumping back and forth through those books, it'd be handy. I do like how it keeps your pages though. Yes, but I have thousands in my Kindle app, most of them being the freebies that I download. So I would probably get 2 or 3, and I know I've mentioned this before, I'd probably get anything from 2 or 3 books per day, and I can't read 2 or 3 books per day, so I've got a glut in books, and it'd be very rare that I would pay for a book, although I have paid for the Cora Seaton books because I do enjoy her writing, and the problem now with that is that I've jumped back a series, and it's like, this is the foundation of some of the characters that I would read about in the future series, and it's like, oh, right, now I'm kind of getting where they're coming from. So yeah, it's okay, but these would have been some of her earlier books, and I'm kind of going, oh, so I'm not going to see those characters, but I'll see them in, yeah, the future books. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Still enjoying them. With the weather turning, this video will have been recorded on the Sunday, edited on the Sunday, and I will have the release on the midnight my Wednesday. So the snow won't be down just yet, but I will try and get a picture up as soon as I can of when we've got snow. I'll probably post it on my page on Facebook if you want to check that out. Yeah, it will last maybe the guts of a week at the very top, but it won't last lower down, although we do have a cold snap. It's August, which is normal for it to snow, and it will snow until, when did I land? I landed in Tasmania on August 19th, 20 years ago. And there was snow on the mountain then, so I've kind of left that as my marker. There is still snow here, and it probably will snow in September as well, but it will only be like a snowfall and then it'll be gone, you know, so there'll be snow in the morning and it'll be gone almost in the evening. Just with, it's not heat, it's just, it's not that heavy a snowfall. We have access to this mountain by road, and you can imagine the crowds. They actually shut the road down, the Hobart City Council. They shut the road so that idiots can't get up it. Sometimes they put a bus in, they put a snowplow up, and they put a bus service in that you can get the bus up to the top. There's arguments about whether or not there should be a cable car going up to the top, and that would free up a lot of the traffic, although people would still want to drive, but anyway. Yeah, there's, and then you get the petty greenies who are kind of going, oh, but the cable car, and it's like stupid arguments that aren't thought through or anything else, and they're kind of saying, oh no, it'll damage the environment, and it's like, not really, it's just a pylon that's going to hold up that bit of the cable car. And the city council, the local city council, seem to be able to dictate the planning for not only a national park, but for the national tourists. And yeah, some people are saying it shouldn't be up to the city council to be saying yay or nay. It should be a state government yay or nay. because it's benefiting this. You worry, even my husband says the federal government should be making this decision, not a city council. Well, yeah, why not the federal government? Anyway, but yeah, they will have closed the road on Monday evening, probably quite early, to stop any idiots trying to get up first thing during the night on Tuesday. It's only a skinny road. It's not as skinny as some of the roads in Ireland, but it's a skinny road. You've got some big cars going up and down. Yeah. But the view is incredible from up there. But we had some heavy rain 3 weeks ago? Might have been 3 weeks ago. Anyway, this thing called the disappearing tarn, which is basically a rainwater catchment puddle that drains, reasonably quickly, but it gathers water. It's crystal clear because it's rainfall, and people have been swarming up there now that the place has been revealed, and it was absolute bedlam after it rained. So we get the same kind of crap when people go up for the snow. And then we've got idiots who drive down the mountain with snowmen blocking their vision and that on their dashboards, and it's all kinds of stupidity. They fill the little town that I used to live in up there, Ferntree town. It's got a pub and a shop that you could probably get milk in, and that's about it. Village, not even sure that it would categorize itself as a village. Anyway, I lived there, so it was nice when I lived there that I didn't have to worry about parking and could just go for a walk in the snow, early morning and that kind of thing. So that was kind of cool. That was one of the nice parts about living up there. But in the summer, in the heat and the risk of bushfire, that was not somewhere that you wanted to be living. Because the trees are basically oil drums, oil wicks for the bushfires. So that's not good. You're gonna fair way out. And as the ground gets drier and the deadfall from the trees gets bigger, the fuel underneath them gets worse and harder to clean and everything else, and when it's going to go up, it's going to go up spectacularly. There will be lives and houses and everything lost again. And we hear it on the mainland all the damn time, we had Marysville up in the up near it's in Victoria, and people couldn't escape the fires. I don't know if there were lives lost or just houses, but it's this skinny twisty road in amongst all the trees, so it's one road in and one road out kind of thing. And the town was just annihilated by these fast fires that went through. I actually visited there on my motorbike, and it was incredible. No, I didn't visit there on my motorbike. No, I drove there in my car. I took my younger daughter a couple of years ago for her birthday trip, and we visited nearby, stayed nearby, and then visited because there was no accommodation left. But went to the town, and they were trying to create the stores out of prefab buildings or the buildings that hadn't been burnt down. So we had lunch there and tried to put some money back into the economy. But it was a gorgeous, gorgeous area. Lush when it was wet, but when it was dry, it was just insane. And you went up to a lookout, and you're just looking out over this valley that was just dead trees as far as the eye could see. It was incredible. I'm going to get one more out of this. So yeah, when you hear about the bushfires, it tends to, I don't know, be one town kind of thing out of the middle of nowhere. 2005, there was bushfires down in a place called Dunalley, and that took out most of the town too. People survived by jumping into the river and ducking under a jetty, I think. There's photos of the family with the smoke and everything else, and some of the first infrastructure that they put back there were the schools, and they're still rebuilding down there. You know, and this devastates communities. You know, people don't have insurance. You get some fire damage from the government, but some of these houses aren't insured. Some of them would have been holiday homes, shacks as we call them in Tasmania. Some people live in those permanently, and some people just have them as holiday homes, and you can't insure holiday homes like you can insure your home. You have to live in it a certain amount of time during the year. It's got to be, you know, certain criteria to be able to get across the line as to what they'll cover for. And then they found that a lot of the places aren't covered for bushfire disasters, you know, because they're not started by human kind of thing. If it's started by a lightning strike, it's like tough shit, it's an act of God. That kind of insurance bullshit. So you'll find, you know, if you do some digging on the bushfire that we had last year up on the mainland, a lot of those homes haven't been started to be rebuilt or anything yet. There are still people who would be homeless that wouldn't be back in their communities, that kind of thing. So it's quite sad how it all works out or doesn't work out for some people. You know, and these would be people who would have been in the community forever and a day. And it seems to be the insurers who win at the end of it. Yeah. It's wrong. I'm sure you've got similar over in the States. I'm constantly hearing about the fires over in California. Don't know why they're quite so bad over there. I don't know if it's the kind of trees that you've got. I know there's a lot of eucalypts over there because you've got them in California, but I don't know if that's what's causing the fire. In Ireland we've got gorse fire. You know, it's a constant problem. We would be constantly looking out to our local hills to see if the gorse was up. You know, you'd look at the back and you'd see smoke during the summer. It was a regular, and over here you've got pyromaniacs, you know, idiot kids who will light bushfires just to, I don't know, be a nuisance. We have charged ex-fireys or volley-fireys, volunteer firefighters, for lighting fires. That does happen. But sometimes it's just bored kids. The police actually keep those bored kids under a tight watch in bushfire season. They will actually go and check on them and make sure that they're home. If a fire happens in their area, they will go and check on them as well. So they know it was or wasn't, you know, Johnny down in such and such an area. But it gets so dry here that the soil gets so dry. It's insane. I have watched who's it, Pioneer Woman, Marie. She talks about how they use fire on the land in where is she? Near Pawhuska? Is that how you say it? She Oregon. She's got a mercantile. I meant to try and find out what a mercantile is. I think it's like a family mom and pop has everything in it kind of store. Or do you call them mercantiles? They look like mercantile. That's how I would pronounce the word, but I have heard somebody else pronounce it maybe something different. But anyway, I think she's Oregon, and they've got the cattle farm, and they also run Mustang on the farm as part of the conservancy of the Mustang. Oh man, that's not a very sticky bit. So yeah, it's they use fire on the land, and Rhea has tried to explain what her husband and the kids do for the land management. So that's always something that's interested me with using fire, but they're talking about grassland and not trees and homes in the middle of trees or anything like that. Alright, I'm done. Now time to bag up and roller. Okay, because these are all kinds of loose. Lovely. Here we go. Alright, so I will let you go. I don't know what I was going to say. That lovely click that you get from drills that are not quite right. And then you see, you've got to put them right. Otherwise they would have popped. I'll put them down and feel pretty good. I've got a loose one there because it's upside down. Oh, there's another one. When they spring out of the tray, you've got to kind of watch where they head to, because sometimes they don't like playing game. They don't like playing or behaving. Well, that's a better word. They like playing, not behaving. And there's another one. Oh my god, I hate when they do that. I'll pop that there for a second. Have I got them all? I'm looking for these loose ones that have gone into the gaps. Alright, so I'll put this film back over. It's sticking on the wrong side. Alright. Just feeling for anything that's out of place. That would be another loose drill kind of thing that's not laid bottom down. But there you go. Got the black for the Christmas tree, the night sky, and then there are, if you can barely pick them out, there's some blues in there. I can see them kind of here. They're not stars as such. I could have replaced them with stars potentially, and I don't know when I'm going to pick up this again. That was just the black done. I've got all the outside edge to do, snowflakes and everything else. But yes, winter potentially I will get all that done. It's very, very pretty, and the stars glow on the tree. Alright, look after yourselves, please. I will see you next week for a bit of a chat and bring you up to speed and show you, well, I won't show you the new car, but I'll tell you stories about the new car. And I have to put dots on Dexter. I showed you Dexter, the dragon. The dragon is going to be renamed Trevor, and I have to put dots on his belly so he can stick on the car. So I've got to do some sewing. I'm going to do more cross stitch. That's going to be done while my editing is happening. Yeah, I got to crack on with my Harry Potter. I've got most of the envelopes, sorry, not the envelopes. I've got most of the chapter walls done in the dark, and now I need to do the other whites. There's two cream colors, or one paler brown and a cream color to fill in, so I've got those done. It's gonna take a while. It's not a quick project. And then I've got the why am I doing this? Another stitch along. Crazy things that I'm doing. So yes, busy. I have a fabric coming from Stitch Me that's going to be for my botanicals project. I have measured, I have worked out my grid. I'm going to get there. I've bought the floss for it. I've got to throw them into floss bags and put them into a project bag. So all of that kind of prep work. Got to do all of that. Got to clear some space on the table so I've got places to put things. Joys. And I'm making dinner today because hubby doesn't like doing chicken. He's scared of white meat. He wants to make sure it's cooked properly. And he's finding an excuse not to cook dinner. Yeah, he does. He does do the roast every week. So I'm doing chicken. He might do the vegetables. If I'm nice to him, I might be able to convince him to do the veggies. But he does them differently from me as well. So yeah, maybe I'll just do it all. And we don't have the crispy, caramelly vegetables. Am I winning yet? Anyway. Alright. Okay, yeah, look after yourselves, and hopefully I get some toys in the mail this week. And yeah, well, we'll see what's happening. I'm still catching up with Sophie and Toffees. I'm still catching up. I think I might be up to date with knitted crates. If you have an idea for the series, let me know what you think. I mean, would you rather 2 Whip and Chats? The only problem, well, it's not really a problem. I could change the day the Whip and Chat releases if I do 2. If it's a Monday and a Thursday, it doesn't have to be Whip and Chat Wednesday, or it doesn't have to be, what's it, allegorical? Is that the word? It doesn't have to be, you know, on a set day. But am I going to have enough to jabber about twice a week? I don't know. I might. One might be long and one might be shorter. One might be the 1.5 hour mark and one might be the 45-minute mark. Let me know. Please, give me some feedback. Because that would help me kind of design my channel and how you guys would like to catch up with me. And then, of course, I've got to find the time to record if Sophie is asleep or awake or, you know, terrible twos kind of thing. And, yes, go from there. So there's a little bit of tweaking at the moment. The recording on the Sunday seems to work, and then I can edit it at my own sort of leisure. Once it's recorded, that's the main thing. So yeah, we'll see how we go. But please, feedback would be good. Alright, take care. Bye for now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.